few of my friends made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think I would go insane. I actually think that I would go insane if I went and did that. Quick backstory. I grew up, born in Salt Lake, grew up northern Utah, little town called Clayton. Not Hillary.
Sorry. You probably get that all the time coming from it, but...
I've never caught that.
Oh, okay.
But there you go. Sounds good.
They thought you're someone else. It's
Somebody
a good place.
Yeah, definitely. No, we grew up not a lot of money, but there was 5 of us siblings, and we just had a lot of fun running around.
Where do you fall?
Second oldest.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I was just talking to my wife the other day about this whole growing up, and there's just this few key things where in Clinton, it's such a weird spot. The top part of Clinton goes to a high school in Layton, Utah.
Huh.
The middle goes to Clearfield High School, and then the bottom part of Clinton goes to Syracuse High School, which is, there's 3 different cities right next to Clinton.
Okay.
So I went to Northridge High School, and all my other friends were from South Weaver, which is on the other side of Hill Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Long story short, South Weaver is a lot nicer than Clinton.
Okay.
And I was just telling her, like, one of the first experience I ever had that I was, like, just mind blown was going to ride in the bus home with a friend from South Weaver and going to their house the first time. And they got, like, all these acres and alfalfa fields and then a nice house. And, like, you get the hot tub and then you, like, run out in the snow in the fields at night. And, like, then you run back into the hot tub. And, like, I just never had anything like that before. And so you're like, where does that come from? Like, entrepreneurship? Like, there's just a few key experiences that's like that. That's just like, man, I want to have a hot tub someday. Like,
Okay.
I want to have some land someday. Like, there's just, I want a good view someday.
So there was seeds being planted, like, hey, I want to carve something out for myself, even from, like, very formative years.
Yeah, like there was one guy in my ward who wasn't in there very long because he moved into a bigger house. Come down snow. My area growing up. But he asked if I wanted a job and I would go fill dumpsters up. And it was $100 for a dumpster, and they're big dumpsters. But
Okay.
building houses, and so all the scraps that like are garbage, I'd go and I would like bring 2 or 3 buddies, and we just finished it in like 30 minutes, and I'd be giving each like $20, and I get 60, right?
Okay.
Rather than like me taking like 4 hours, 5 hours to do.
Yeah.
And it was like, those are also moments where I was like, hey, like this is kind of cool how business works. Like I can kind of, they just want to hang out anyway.
Yeah. They're happy. $20 for half an hour.
Yeah.
Great for them, right?
Exactly. And then also it was like, I'm seeing some of these really cool houses, and like I never built anything like that for my dad in my whole life. Right? It's just like, oh, like what's this? So it's like, one person knew where, oh, that's where the kitchen's going. It's just like, oh, so there was definitely a lot of seeds growing of like just wanting to. There's just something about not being given stuff.
Yeah.
And like just continually having a desire.
Earning something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So the seeds were planted, and then what happened after, when you became an adult? Like, did you get married and then get into business? Did you start to, like, did you work a job for a while before you got into business? How did that shake out?
Yeah. So when I got back from my church mission,
Where at?
Oregon and Washington State.
Okay.
So just along the Columbia River, all the way to the ocean.
Yeah.
You ever seen like the Goonies? Yeah. So now that's the area. So
Cool.
the
Gospel.
Yeah, exactly. Portland State. When I got back, I was running track at Southern Utah University,
Okay.
and
What's your event? Sorry, I don't want to digress.
I just, the worst ones, 800, 400, and a mile, depending.
Grueling events.
Yeah, but I only did a year and a half. Like, even us mile guys, they had us running like 8 to 14 miles a day with all the cross country guys. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, if you're doing under 8 miles, you're 6 mile pace. Anyway, there's just like, that was hard. That was really hard. It was good for me, but I was just doing running. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to be a professional runner. And I was going into business, into accounting, because I was like, I figured if you learn more about money, then like maybe you'll have some more.
Yep.
And so that's the only reason I was doing that. And then I was broke, and I said I would never do summer sales, but I went and did it. I was and I come back, and I'm sitting in an accounting class, and we have like Deloitte come in one week and Goldman Sachs come in another week, and it's like your first, like, here's what post graduation is going to look like for you. And I'm only a year and a half in. I've been in college for a long time, and I got a while to go. But they were like, first year, like, we're going to kill you, basically. It's like 80 hours a week, $50,000. And they made like $55,000. And you see a lot of classes like, oh, wow, that's wild. And
Dang.
like, after a couple of years, you're going to work your way up, and you're going to be able to make $200,000. And I'm like, I just got back from like 3 months. I made like 30. Maybe that's not a lot, but like, I got the whole rest of the year to kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, a few of my friends made hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And 55,000, like, is that post-tax? Is that pre-tax? Yeah, it's pre-tax, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of opened my eyes, like, man, I think I would go insane. I actually think that I would go insane if I went and did that. And soon after, got married, went into like another summer of sales, and that's how getting around a few people that own other real estate. There's really two types of summer sales guys. It's like, one, they just go buy a really nice car,
Yeah.
and then they try to recruit a bunch of people, and then they're going to be in that business for a minute.
Yeah.
Or there's like a few others that are more like, they also go broke, but they go broke like buying a few sketches of real estate.
Like their seed money.
Yeah.
So you're starting to see, okay, the corporate life, that's not an attractive path to me.
No, professional and athlete.
Not proudly. I mean, always make a comeback. I've seen you videos of you working out.
No, I ran like sea level adjusted, like a 409 mile, and I was like the second slowest on the team.
Wait, you say 409 miles?
Yes, Josh. And these Canadians on the team, you got like, I'm like 200 pounds, 6'4". You got some of these like 5'0", like 110 pounds, and just cruising. Well, anyway,
Welcome to the club.
yeah,
But you're way faster than me.
not a professional.
But you're okay. So I mean, now I know where your Southern Utah ties come from. You went to SU,
Yeah.
and that's how we have so many of the same friends. And you're seeing the two paths. You're seeing one person that's doing summer sales that's kind of maybe going to get caught in that rat race, we could call it, because you're breaking it down and saying some people that do summer sales, they're going to get caught in the rat race. Some people that do summer sales, they're using it as a cash cow to go make investments, whether that be a different business or real estate. Like, they're doing wise things with their summer sales money, so they're not just inflating their lifestyle.
Yeah.
They're basically going to go invest and then have a different pattern, right?
And to be frank, like, I think everyone should do it, because you get a lot of different calluses of not caring as much what people think, and just being able to be disciplined, and all that. But at the end of the day, after doing it for a few years, most of the cultures of summer sales is like just not what I would like to love for my family, and I could just see me becoming like, just like not quite a person.
Huge sacrifice that people in summer sales make, right? Like, I have a lot of people close to me that do it.
Yeah.
Huge sacrifice, and they carve out something honorable, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is you have to decide if if you're gonna have equity in the summer sales company, it makes a lot of sense. But if you're not, like at the end of the day, like go work for something you have equity in, or share an upside, right? But anyways, okay, so you're out of that. You're saying I'm gonna take a different direction. Where did that land you?
Yeah, so we got back. So I did my first summer by myself, and then my high school sweetheart got back from her mission. We got married, and then we went out for another summer.
Okay.
And when we got back, we're like, but we need a place to like live, and a basement apartment was like, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500, and I was like, and this is when rates were super low. So we got a townhome this year for $188,000.
Yeah.
3% interest, and it was like $900 a month to still have that one. And that's
Nice.
that's really when I was like, when we went home for the holidays in northern Utah,
Yeah, 4 weeks.
our whole place was furnished, and we're like, we can sacrifice, and we literally threw it up on Airbnb. I think Brody Browning told me to do it,
Okay.
and just test it out, because when we got for next summer, maybe we should Airbnb, maybe we should like rent it out to somebody a long term, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, I think we made like over 4 weeks, made like 4 or 5 grand. Really, and that's like 4 or 5 months of payments, right? Yeah. And I was just like, why am I living in this, you know? And obviously, we lived there until we needed to, you know, be there for a year, and then we just have rented it out ever since. But that's when I really feel like I understood that, like, okay, I'm not super smart, but if you can get a property for this X payment, and on the low end, this is what you're gonna get if everything went to crap.
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
Correct.
And even if it's paying for itself, like that's actually something that's really cool, and it's worth it, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously a year later, it went up in value. That's the only property I ever got with those low rates. That's why I'd had to sell.
What year was this? What year is this?
That was 2020.
Okay.
So
And you've been married for a year at this point ish?
no, not 6 months.
Okay.
So you're up.
How old are you?
27.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking your marriage. I'm 30. I'm 31. I just turned 31. So I'm a lot older than you. You gotta jump up. You gotta jump on everything. I am, yeah. But I used to be so novel, being like the guy in the 20s, and now I'm just normal. But digressing, okay? So, you know, you're getting a taste of the real estate magic, realizing, like, the way I put it is like you have the horse, which is the actual real estate asset, and the jockey, and like the jockey doesn't have to be that special, right? Like you don't have to be a super genius to make money in real estate. You just have to find a good deal.
Yeah.
Or make a good deal, right?
Create a good deal, make a good deal. And that's really just what I focused on for the next couple of years.
Right. Single family homes, Airbnb, or like what was your focus specifically?
Yeah. Another Airbnb in Cedar. And then I was also a student there, so I understood it's like student rent, and I had a lot of connections, so I got a student house.
Right, house model.
Yeah. Yep. And we got one in Texas when we moved out of there. But what I didn't understand, I wish I would have like studied it more, and maybe people told me, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't listening. But the idea of like passive income was such like a light bulb to me that you kind of miscalculate a lot of things. Like instead of like being like, you know, I don't know, we don't have to go all into this, but if your payment's $2,000 and it's renting out to a bunch of students for $3,500, right? You're not making $1,500. Right? You're just not. You know, like there's stuff that breaks, there's stuff you gotta fix, there's just people move out early, people whatever. And
yes, I'm glad to bring it up.
And it's just, you know, one thing happens and it costs 5 or 10 grand, like kind of smoked for a minute.
Yeah.
You know? And things just went so good for a year or so that I was cocky. I just thought I was like the coolest thing in the world. And I just, you know, found something. And I think it was Brandon Turner. If people don't know that, it was Beery Brandon. He was saying like, when he calculates passive income, he goes into like, all right, the roof's going to be replaced in 9 years. The windows are going to be replaced in this time. And he adds all that up and then he divides it by like the 30-year mortgage. And so he counts that extra, it might be like $432.15 every month, and puts that like away, like paying for stuff. And they're really like, so basically a deal that's $500 cash flow is actually nothing in certain circumstances, you know what I mean? So anyway, bought like a mobile home park, just started doing stuff that's seller finance that was owned free and clear. I didn't really touch anything that was like taking over mortgages.
Okay, so hold on. So are you working another job at this point? Are you doing sales? Like what's going on how are you gobbling up these real estate deals?
Yeah. When summer sales was finishing, there's just like a lot of like empty promises that were like, hey, I'll do this for you, and then it wouldn't happen, or hey, come here and do this, and then it's just like there's 100 sales reps here, and half of them are for you to help run or whatever.
Yeah.
And you show up and there's like 5 people, and there's just like a lot of that. And so I just wanted to still do sales because I liked it, but I worked for real estate investing school.
Oh, yeah.
I had taken the course a year or two earlier, had a little bit of experience, not a ton, and so I would sell the real estate investing school course.
Got it.
For Brody.
Yeah, who know and love.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was that was one source of income was working with real estate investing.
And then the 2 or 3 other properties that I had, they were doing good, at that time. And so we were making it by any means, but like
you live below your means.
Mm-hmm. We were going, and I kind of, every time I posted on Instagram, I would start getting like DMs, or I would say, oh, what, hey, this Airbnb did this month, and soon enough I had 500 investor like list, and I would, if I found a deal like owned outright, whatever property, they'll seller finance to you with 10% down with 3% interest for the next 7 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Then it's like, I just, how much do I need with down payment? And then what's my estimate, all my calculators for renovations and holding costs and everything. And then I go buy stuff.
Is that how you did the trailer park?
Yeah. So,
okay.
Lowell Park.
Mark, sorry.
No, did they get offended? I don't care. I know, because they get offended if you say trend, no. But that, and then we just happened upon a wedding venue in Cedar 2 years ago.
This is where the story eats up.
I don't know, this shit is there, this is stuff. But they owned it free and clear, an older couple, and they were doing everything themselves. Like when I say everything, I mean like they own like the tablecloths. So they're like washing them, and they're like, and they're 75, and they're like grindy.
Wow.
And anyway, they had it listed on the local MLS, but not any other site.
Wow.
So everyone in Iron County could see it,
but not like your Crexy Nation Alive,
Crexy Lubna, Utah Real Estate account. No, nowhere. So
nice.
I was just luckily that I saw it because I was in that area.
Your local kind of.
And anyway, they seller financed with, it's like 15% down, but we took over like almost $100,000 worth of weddings.
Wow.
Which was the payment for like the next 2 years almost, and they had never done ads. They were never open on Sunday. They didn't want to work a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
And so, we take it from doing, $170,000 a year gross revenue.
Yeah.
So to like $500,000 within the year.
So here's where it heats up, because Alex basically experienced like, okay, I'm going to do this real estate deal, but you kind of discovered that not only is the real estate awesome, but like you're acquiring a business. You have to have an operation, marketing, like is not just a pass. This is not passive.
There's almost nothing passive about real estate in my mind now.
Yeah.
And Bird's gonna get mad at me for saying that. But unless you're like the top 1% and you can like hire literally everything out down to like making sure the blind, someone's over the blinds for the house or something like,
Yeah.
and you never even have to think about it, that's passive, but like I just feel like you can't say something's passive income if it's 90% passive. It's still not passive. Like you still 10% is a lot, and can be a lot of time too. So I just realized that every single real estate asset is a business.
Yes.
If you want to be insanely good at student housing, you can go so deep into that, and then you can start building bigger. Mobile home parks. I mean, we just got an offer on the mobile home park, and these guys own 115 mobile home parks.
Wow.
Right?
Good for them.
And they just one thing, and then just one after another, just do Airbnbs. And anyway, it was a year ago. I was meeting with Todd Peterson, who's multi-billionaire. He sold a few companies, and I just luckily got a meeting with him and sat with him for an hour. And I'm showing him a few deals, but I'm also asking him about, he's asking about what I mostly do. He's like, dude, you just got to focus on the wedding venues. And you just got to create a management business. And I'm like, I want to create a management business? Like, it sounds like a business, not passive income,
Yeah.
And it's like, all of them are businesses. And then he went on to tell me that Marriott doesn't even own their buildings. Like, they literally are just a management company and a brand name. And they 10x their business since they did that, and all this other stuff. And so that's really what we've been heading into for the last.
Which is exciting to watch. I want to pick out a couple cool things there. Like, first, like you chose to be in that room. How did you line up? Like, was it a mastermind?
No, my assistant, and she's amazing. One of her best friends is Todd's assistant.
Oh,
so you're just like, put me on schedule. Just line up.
okay.
Nice job. This is really nice. Yeah.
Well, that's a huge bonus. So was it a one-on-one?
Yeah.
Dude, what a gift.
Oh yeah.
That's so much value. What about Todd impacted you the most? Like, because you got some time with him. What was the...
I've listened to, even when I worked for Vivint, I had heard him a couple times, but like I had listened to him a few times on like other podcasts or case studies with Casey Bogg.
Yeah.
And I just love their stuff. I feel like I align a lot with their values, but also their business principles and stuff. But I would say the biggest thing to me is like, if you can create a multi-billion-dollar business, that's cool to say billion, but it's even cooler to see how many lives he impacted. Like, I'm having this conversation with him, and he's talking about how he's been asked if you want to go serve a mission, be a mission president, all this stuff. And he's just like, I feel like I helped, he helped thousands and thousands and thousands of young men who came from circumstances like me. And he's just like, if I need to, I will. But like, I feel like I really helped that age group type of deal.
Yeah.
And like, then you start thinking about it, you're like, well, billion's cool, but like, this dude literally, changed the industry of door-to-door sales, of, alarms, of helping this specific age group, because a lot of people weren't helping that age group. Anyway, so.
No, it's cool. And I think the coolest thing to see and surround yourself with someone like that is like, it's one thing for you to build something big enough that you make it yourself, but to have ambitions so big that, dude, you make other people worth $100 million. Like the people that are your direct reports, all those people are worth $100 million.
No, I'm pretty sure like the day they sold the Blackstone, the day they sold, they made like 300 or 400 millionaires like that night.
Yeah.
And like, I just think that's like the coolest thing, because they've been loyal, but also they haven't been loyal just for the money. Like, they've been loyal because of the person you become. And he's also told the story of how he has like a lockbox in his bathroom, and he gets home from work and he doesn't get out of his car till he's done.
On the phone.
And then when he's done, he goes straight into the house, not even a hug for his wife yet, and he puts his phone there for the next like 4 hours, like 3 hours. And he's the most present person in like the world. And then after the kids are in bed, he's with his wife for a little bit. Then he's got like door-to-door reps and managers coming to the house till 1 a.m. like almost every day for 15 years.
Wow.
I don't think I could do that. But like, I was so not present until like, I don't know, a year ago. Like I'm busy, I'm doing business, you know, like, and I literally have a lockbox. I mean,
You got the lockbox.
you don't have to lock it, but like I literally go and I put my phone in there. Obviously it's on do not disturb, and I feel like it's so much easier just to flip that switch.
Yeah.
And be more present for the moments with the kids and stuff.
How old are your kids now?
3.5 and 1.5.
Okay. Yeah. So we're in the similar phase. Good for you, man. I mean, those moments are precious.
They are. It's like I go on a trip because we bought a couple of venues, and then I come back and it's been like 3 days, and I feel like they're already. It's like, hey, you didn't say that word before. Well, hey, like even it's like you don't want to miss it, but at the same time you want to be a good example.
Well, it's impressive that you keep your priorities straight and accomplish this. I love it because I love niching in storage, moving in storage. I love just service business, commercial real estate. You know what I mean? Like, I feel really strongly about it. And obviously there's people who have a little bit of everything that do just as good or better. But I appreciate the niche and you being the venue guy. And so what is that transition? Like, I know that you have to cut some things that might be hard and increase your time on other things. Like, since you made that decision, like, what is your work activity change to become?
Yeah. I'm really excited for it, first of all. But second of all, I'm almost there. Like, I'm almost be able to like just put all my time into like that one business, because I don't want to leave any of my other partners on other real estate deals in the air at all. But like, I'm splitting off stuff. I'm like literally giving the whole thing to some people.
Wow.
To partners, because either it hasn't gone up a ton in value, and I just want to make it right for, hey, I haven't been all in on this since we got it, because I'm going, just with the venues and stuff like that. And so there's like a lot of moving parts with that, but it's been cool like over the last 6 months to go from like 10% to now like maybe 80% of all my time that's just on venues. And they're a frick ton of work. Like,
yeah. Give us some idea.
I mean, if you think about like a wedding or event venue, like the amount of people you're dealing with is just like photographers, like dresses, flowers, like decor, chairs, tables, brides, the bride's mom, right? And I'm not really dealing with a lot of that, like those people, because we have amazing managers and stuff. But it's just you're mixing real estate just like you are with stores. You're mixing real estate with a scalable business.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, but it's just so cool to see that like the business is actually the wealth creator, and it's other real estate and stuff is going to hold wealth really good and get up tax breaks and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it's everything that a house has with the Wi-Fi and the fiber and like, and then add on top of that a wedding business. But I really love it because I would get calls from like my mobile home park manager and like, yeah, so this lady died, and then like we had to clear that out and think that, and then like, yeah, this dude was beating his kids and wasn't paying his rent, so like kicked him out. But he came and got all his stuff, but he like left all of his kids' toys, and they'll like send me a picture, and it was just like the same toys I had to my kids, and I'm just like, I want to go punch this dude. Yeah, I know, and it's just amazing like the difference between like owning a wedding venue where historically they're like 20 or 30% occupied for the year, and that's it.
Wow.
Maybe like 10% to 30%.
Right. It makes sense though.
And all you're dealing with is usually people like the best day of their lives, or like a quinceañera or a wedding or like a big business meeting, like the one for the year for your business, and it's just like all that you've either going all out and sick and golf simulators or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And so all you're dealing with is like just super happy people, and you're dealing with emotional money, you know?
Ooh.
And
I like that.
I never really thought about what the difference was, but the difference is huge. Like Kevin O'Leary said his two favorite businesses are like weddings and funerals, because those are the two most emotional things in your life usually. And so like I'm not trying to just like rake people across the coals for weddings, but like to provide a really high class like service, it is expensive, you know.
Yeah.
And people in Utah, this is for everyone in Utah, wedding venues are not expensive. Right? It is number 50. It is the cheapest state in the whole U.S.
Right.
So if you're like, $5,000 for the day, and you're like, in New Jersey it's 40. So yeah, you want to go over there? But
Well, that is a really cool takeaway, like the difference between emotional and logical money. Because like you said, like you're not just taking advantage of people in emotional time, you're also providing emotion, right? Like you're able to sell a venue because you're going to create emotion on that wedding day.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like when I look at it like this, the emotion is you're selling it so you can charge a premium because you're going to provide a surplus on emotion on the wedding day.
yeah. You're providing like not only that day, but like a couple of days of prep or whatever, and like kind of like ease of just making it like the best thing ever, you know. And I'm a super big believer in people getting married and people having families, and I feel like that's like one of the main things that this life is for.
Yeah.
And so yes, I personally connect to it. Yes, I like the business side of things, but overall it's just nice to like get a text saying like we give away free weddings sometimes, and like it's just like for a 24 and a 22-year-old, or you know, that's more a Utah thing, but like that is like $5,000. Like that is all the money in the month bank account.
2 months, 3 months savings.
Yeah, and like, you know, so it's really cool to be able to like not only have a high ticket item, but also be able to like give away a high ticket item too, you know.
Yeah.
So
Talk to me about your rebranding, right? It's like obviously a lot of it's about messaging. You're creating an audience of people all across the world that are latching onto your message, right? So, what are your ways that you're trying to reposition yourself as like an expert in venues?
I still don't know what I'm doing, you know, to be honest.
Well, you were being modest.
No, like I really think that I'm just testing a lot of things out. Like I was trying to more go, hey, all you venue owners, I'm a pro. Like, come use me for your management.
Right.
Right? But there's not very many venue owners. And the ones that are, the nice thing about managing or buying wedding venues is 90% of wedding venues are owned free and clear. It's usually the wife's passion project on like 90% of the ones we bought.
Wow.
It's the wife's passion project. It's a lot more work than they thought, but like they still love it. They don't want to sell the land usually, like, you know, a lot of those situations. And so my target audience is usually wealthy, and they're not just scrolling on Instagram looking for someone to manage their wedding venue, especially like a weird looking dude, you know? And I also realized like I am a lot more professional than a lot of other people in the space.
Yeah.
But I also know like 5% of what I need to, or 5% of everything that I want to go learn and do, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's a pretty humbling thing, honestly. Like I get a lot of connections on Instagram and Facebook and stuff.
You're a great networker.
Yeah, no, I love talking to people. But there is just such a difference between Like, let me give you one example. There's one that we're talking to. We're bringing over the manager from a venue in Colorado.
Okay.
And this is not like Denver. This is like an hour outside. It's kind of middle of nowhere.
Sure.
Okay. And it holds 300 people, same size as a few of our other ones. And they do between 4 and 5 million a year. And wedding venues are about 50 to 60% profit margin. Like, it's a lot of profit. Wow. Okay. But our same size ones, maybe an hour flight away, is like 10% of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's all about the perspective that you give on that venue and, you know, your connections with wedding planners and photographers, and like just to know people who know like this is the place to go.
Yes.
So that's one thing that's really cool to learn right now that we're kind of going through.
Well, I love, and I think this is a worthwhile lesson for people trying to invest in real estate, is that the business is always going to produce more cash. And so the commercial real, like you already said this once, but commercial real estate will grow your wealth passively. But when you can stack a commercial real estate asset that's going to grow your wealth passively over time, and you can make a bunch of money on the equity play, and you can stack that with an active business that you can scale and grow and produce cash flow, like that's what I'm trying to do. You know, we have our moving company, our storage company, and then we're building that equity passively. You're doing the same exact thing with venues, where these venues, like you said, they have the potential to be extremely lucrative.
Yeah.
That to me is way more exciting than just like owning doors, renting them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're actively scaling, and as you're putting together your team, what are your do's and don'ts for scaling a team? Because now you're in a full-fledged business.
Yeah. Yeah, each one of our venues has like 10 to 15 employees. But it's not like other businesses where it's like full-time employees. You usually have one or two that are like full-time. That's it. Yeah. A lot of the other ones, like, they're a mom, and he just want to work for an hour or two a week and like make a little bit of money. But also they just love weddings, you know, and they can sell it way better than me, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say like the business side of things is where, and the systems and processes that we're putting in is the things that I'm learning the most right now. Like if I have a list on my computer right now of like, there's, first of all, it's only like 50,000 venues in the whole U.S. That's it.
Yeah.
And we probably don't care about like 10,000 of them. But like I have a list of half those, and I could probably reach out to and I could probably go get like a couple hundred under management right now, because a lot of them are like, yeah, like I've never heard of a company doing this before, because there's not a lot, because for kind of work. Yeah, I mean, like, but we just can't. We just can't really right now.
Yeah,
because there's so much that goes into one turning it over, and that's why I like the business too, because these people keep their land forever, not with these venues, and they don't really. A lot of them don't care if they make $1 million or $2 million for the year. They just like want people to enjoy it. They just want. So it's a really different. When we're hiring employees, we want employees that don't necessarily. They're not just there to get a check, you know, because they're dealing with people that are not just there to pay for something and get in exchange. Like, they're there because it's like
the best deal.
And and crazy, like just like stores, like honestly, crazy recession resistant. You think with emotional money that it would be in any hard circumstance in life, that would be like the first thing to go. But actually, like you got one daughter, like you're gonna freaking make sure that they have what they want.
You're probably going to sell your expensive car for your daughter's wedding, or make a bigger sacrifice.
Yeah, like if the whole wedding costs $30,000 and you only got 20, like probably just pulling 10 out of your house and be like, this is the one day in her life or whatever, you know, like, yeah. So not that you should do that. I'm not saying don't do that, but like it does happen. And so, That's the one thing. Before I went all in on it, I was looking into just a lot of data and stuff like that.
Well, it's interesting. Like, I wonder if there are different price points for weddings too. Like, I'm sure some people would scale back from the $30,000 wedding to like the $25,000 wedding. So it'd be interesting to have a couple different venues in the same place. But is there a certain size that it has to be to make it worth operating?
Like, no, because like some that might only fit like 50 or 100 people, and you can make it really nice, and like the kind of audience that you're going to attract, they don't want to bring kids, and so you still get all the, it's like kind of an adults only, or like a few of them, like we're throwing a helicopter bath, and like then you connect with like different helicopter pilots and stuff, and like they're doing the bride and the groom are flying away in a helicopter, cool. Right? So it's like it's not necessarily like this is how many people it needs to hold.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's too big, then it's just like this just doesn't feel like my wedding. It just feels like my parents are gonna invite everyone under the sun, and
So for like a manager's perspective, you need to have a certain revenue mark to make it make sense, not necessarily capacity.
Yeah.
Because you can charge more per head for like a more intimate. I'm like, how can I turn my house into a wedding venue? You'll have to give me a consult after we're done.
If the freaking city would let you do that, I'd be mind blown. That's the hardest thing.
Reciprocal ask the city.
Yeah, there you go. Pray the city, dude. That's actually the hardest thing in a lot of places. It's like, there's so much. A lot of them don't even have like a zoning, like a. So what is it you're doing? A reception center, and you're like, well, like we'll have receptions there, but it's like all events.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be like sporting events, and you're like they don't, like a lot of them don't know.
Yeah,
Because there's usually in every city there might only be one or two.
Well, how many people are doing this under the table? Like,
oh yeah, like at your house, whatever. Like it's just a family party, whatever.
You can't run the business that way because it'll cause problems for you.
Yeah,
as a legit business owner.
Yeah. So like when we're taking over management, like we make sure that like it's
Like stuff.
Yeah. Especially like some of them have like liquor and stuff too. Like
Right.
or 90% of people like drink at a wedding stuff. But
Right.
You gotta have liability. You gotta have like everything set up.
Liquor license, and do you have to check their IDs? Probably.
So like
You don't have to get that.
you usually, yeah, but I mean real quick, you usually have like the venue has its liquor license. Yeah, it's really hard to do in Utah, but like, or usually you just refer it out to like a mobile company that comes in bartends.
Cool.
Yeah, so you're only making money, but like people can still help.
Right. You still make sure your venue rentable. And I'm a huge fan. I think it's a great piece of advice that I know that you just went and doubled down on. So I love it. I love knowing, okay, I got a venue guy now. So when I talk to people who are doing like any kind,
You just have you one the other day.
yeah,
Yeah.
dress rentals. And what was the other one I sent you?
Uh,
Someone who's doing a dress rental business I wanted to connect you with so that you guys can pass back and forth,
Yeah, the other one was I think they just bought some land by Black Desert Golf Course.
Yeah.
They're doing like they want to do a venue.
Yes. So. Oh, no, it's right here by my house.
Is it?
It's Sue and Randy Open, my business partners.
Yeah.
They bought this 40 acres right here. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is right here by Black Desert.
I think they're out of town, but when I come back, we're supposed to go.
You're going to love them. If they're my business partners, you'd love to have them as business partners.
Really?
Oh, it's going to be a win-win.
Yeah. If I was like, you guys are coming from Bend, so you got to be decent.
Yes. Okay, so the world is wide open once you specialize. Like,
Yeah.
you were modest and said you don't know what you're doing. I know that you're learning very fast. I know you know more than 5% of what there is to know. But what are your goals? Like, where do you hope this takes you?
Yeah. I hope to be able to manage at least 200 venues. And it's like, why that number? And it's honestly more of a selfish thing because estimated like revenue wise to be doing like, $1 billion. Like it's just a lot. Or $1 billion worth of real estate too. But yeah, anything. But also the biggest thing is like I I have I don't know about your screen time, but like I have seen my screen time average go insane over the last 4 years. And when we started doing like one of our event venues, it's near a university, and we started doing country dancing every Tuesday night. We don't make a lot of money from it. Okay, actually the floor gets kind of beat up.
Yeah.
You know, but like I get texts all the time or DMs to that Instagram for the venue, like all the time. Like I met my wife here. I did this. Like, hey, they really got us together. Like, I actually want to like take a lot of these event venues, and I want to create a lot more events. Let's get a shooting thing full to like 70 or 80%, even if weddings are only like half those, because people just need to get out more. There's just been such a big culture shift of being 6 inches in front of your screen or like
Yeah.
video games or then there's virtual reality and like all this stuff that like I think people are craving to like get out and like we've had cornhole tournaments, okay, like the local cornhole team, like yeah, we don't make a ton of money from, but like they're using this sweet place to be able to like have little tournaments and stuff. And
So there's a why, like you enjoy like facilitating an experience for people.
I do, and I enjoy like I feel like one of the joys, like if I could name like 3 joys in life, it's like you seeing yourself grow, you seeing your family grow, and you seeing other people grow. Like it's just growth,
Yeah.
And I feel like venues is a cool place where you can like see each other grow and like grow relationships and stuff. Just like you do with you and your family at a wedding. And so I feel like it kind of encompasses a lot of those.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like one of your key values is just like experiences, relationships, and personal growth, and that you get to experience those personally by the challenges and the demands of scaling a business, but you're also providing that opportunity for other people who are like essentially your customers.
Yeah, and I hope to be able to like almost write a code to be able to like help people get more venues, through to the cities and stuff like that. Because like if you're like, what, I think there's a few new ones in St. George, but like if you were to go, like there's a lot of cities that's why I haven't seen new like event venues in a long time. And so you're seeing like a lot of the we have a couple in this one in Indiana that we've got. One of the competing ones, they're like up 2 years out.
Wow.
Like 200 a bit, weddings a year, like out of every 165 days that you can imagine, like just crazy. And we've seen like one of ours go from 30 or 40 a year to 140 a year. So like,
Yeah.
I hope that more people get into wedding venues, not less. I hope that more people go to events or host events at your house. Just gather, like get together. And yeah, more we've been married. So.
Let's do it, man. Just real quick, then we'll button this up. How many have you picked up? Last year?
I called 500 last year, and I got one. Like people just won't sell them. That's another reason they created a management company.
Right.
But, so we own 4, and then a wedding business, and then we just got we only under management we just got our first one because we just started that company.
Yeah.
So that one's like a 60-acre one in Ohio, and
60 acres.
yeah,
Legit. I mean, I think I would say though that it's the management company's genius for attracting like acquisition opportunities because you're building trust. Like they're gonna let you know, hey, I'm planning on.
Dude, that's what Todd was saying. He's like, you don't build something to sell because you want to make a bunch of money and sell it. Like you make a business like that can sell because that means it's actually worth something. Like it's actually worth a crap,
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, like if somebody would buy it, that means like you're actually creating real value.
Yeah.
And so that's what we hope to do, is to be able to get a bunch under management and help them scale up, and then also be able to sell that management company if we ever need to.
I love that, man. Well, provided a ton of value today. Like, you're a great example of living the bigger life because you saw what you wanted from an early age. You grew and basically made key connections. I think you were modest today about the sacrifices you made, the networking you put in, like the amount of time and hour. You just said you called 500 venues to get one. That's extra special. And I think a lot of people would dip their toe and give up after, I don't know, 50, right? But to call 10 times that many and get that one venue, I think a lot of people hope that they recognize the amount of time and energy that goes into it, and really can't wait to see what you do next, man.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Okay, that was another great episode of the Bigger Life podcast.